Yeah.
You know, that was a thing too when I was on the road steadily with WWF and WWE. Um, Man, there was not that many guys. We'll go back to the WWF days. There was not that many guys that weren't married. I mean, of course, there was a few. And that's the ones I tried to hang out with because, I do a lot of things wrong. Um, Sometimes I know I'm doing them wrong. Sometimes I don't even realize it's wrong. But the one thing that I would always promise myself was that once I was married, not going to mess around because to me that's like you were joined by the universe, or whatever you want to call it, God, universe, nature, whatever. But you joined hearts through the universe, so that's means a lot to go back on that. And so when I would see the guys doing it, I would be just like, oh man, I wish they wouldn't, but I didn't care. I mean, hey, do what you're gonna do. I mean, it ain't bother me, and I'm definitely ain't got to worry about me ratting or anything. I ain't doing that. But yeah, I hated seeing that. It was just like really there was only a handful of guys that didn't cheat on their wives. Like Tito Santana was one, Owen Hart, rest in
Tito
peace.
did because he ended up having Jenny. I don't know if you know the whole story, but he had an illegitimate child and he
Oh, really? I
refuses
didn't
to
know that.
acknowledge her. It's been confirmed by the sons. Yeah, and he refuses to acknowledge her because he doesn't want to get in trouble with his current wife, who thinks that she's only after him for his money. She doesn't care about the money.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
so he
didn't know all
wasn't.
that.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, he would go out and have a drink here and there with us. So, usually, if the hotel bar was, so when he had a few drinks, he didn't have to drive. He just go upstairs, go to sleep. But I mean, I thought, well, I thought he was one of the ones that didn't mess around. But there was just so few. Owen Hart was definitely, family only. Um, Trying to think of who else. There was like three. Well, Randy Savage, of course. I told Randy one time, something about, God, I hate to see the guys that are married, doing all this. And he goes, always remember this, brother. He says, you, if they're cheating on their wives, imagine what they'll do to you. Like if you were to do any kind of business deal or anything with one of the guys. He said, yeah, if they're going to cheat on, that's their other half. If they're going to cheat on that, he had a good point. He always had good points, man, when he would teach me anything. It's like I told him one time, I said, Randy, Sean is going to his head and he's getting arrogant and cocky the more we climb the ladder. It's changing him. He goes, no, brother, it didn't change him at all. It just made him comfortable to be who he is. And I thought about that. And that's, makes sense too. That's true too. Oh, Randy was always good, man. He was always, yeah, I missed the shit out of him too. A lot of the
yeah.
guys.
I actually wrestled Jenny at a bar one night. This is Tito's daughter right here. I'm wrestling
Where?
her in a bar.
Right there?
That's her. You see the resemblance of the face.
Yeah. How old is she?
She might kill me for saying this, but 42, I think.
Her?
Yeah, she looks great.
That's,
She's a jiu-jitsu champion too. She's a
oh,
world
really?
champion. Yeah, that's
That's
the
his
funny.
daughter?
Yeah, that's his daughter. Yeah,
Damn. So that would have
yeah.
been shit before him and I know we all were hanging out. 'Cause that was
It
like
was around
30.
1984. It happened, I think, in Allentown. So it would have been in the Allentown taping days.
Okay, yeah. So that was around 84. I didn't meet him till 88, I think. But
But here's the funny thing: she's a legitimate two-time at least world champion in grappling, and she
world
liked
champion.
wrestling. She
Damn.
wanted, and she tried to get into wrestling for a while, but he wouldn't
That
support it
wanted
or
to.
anything, so she got turned off. But it's like he could have got bookings, like managing her and stuff, because she had the potential. But whatever.
Tito, he was another one that he told me about. Like he sets a price for his bookings, and if they want to pay him, he'll go. If they don't want to pay him, he don't care. He's like, but he kept getting it. I thought I don't want to say the price, so I'm not going to say 1,500 at that, but way back then. Um, if they would pay him that, he would go ahead. But I was thinking, like, but Tito, that's so much. He goes, Marty, they pay it when you don't need them, they will need you. And it kind of made sense. RVD, my buddy there, he gosh, like Tito was 1,500 back when everybody was getting 5 to 1,000, for indie booking. RVD told me, I called him up one time and said, hey man, this guy wants to book you. And I don't know, I don't want to get in the numbers. You handle that. He goes, oh, I can tell you what, tell him what I want. And I said, gosh, I hate to get involved with the numbers. I go, but what do you want me to tell him? He goes, 20,000. And I'm like, what? And he goes, that's what I tell them. And, if they don't book me, I didn't want to work anyway. And he goes, but when they accept it, I'm like, damn, now I got to go. And I mean, he must get it a lot.